Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 3 of season 1, RT Machine Podcast. Hope everybody's having a good day out there. We sure are. We have a bunch of stuff on our schedule today, and we have Dusty with us from our warehouse. And Dusty, why don't you chime in a little bit here and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Dustin Whitmoyer. I started here in about mid-2006, and I actually started back in the shop as a cleaner part-time. And in October, they hired me on full-time and brought me out into the warehouse. And I've been moving machinery, loading it, moving it around, unloading, ever since. And this October, I'll be here 17 years.
Nice.
17 years of moving machinery.
Yep.
Yeah, well, most people don't realize the logistics of just navigating through our plant and finding the right home for when stuff's coming in and out.
And nobody realizes that Dustin kept track of every machine he picked up. He can tell us right now, how many machines have you picked up in 17 years?
A lot. I can tell you there's a lot of them. I'd say probably thousands.
Yeah, we move a lot of machinery through here.
Yep, and it's never all the same stuff either.
Yeah.
It's all different. It is a challenge at times, trying to get the stuff into the warehouse, find a place for it, to maneuver it through the building, especially when you got a narrow aisle away. But
it's like a jigsaw puzzle that's never solvable.
That's right.
Game of Tetris.
Yep, we're always trying to find a spot for stuff.
Yeah, I just happened to be here this afternoon when Spike rolled in with one of the machines that we just pulled out of one of my customers over at Miller Blaker. And we were over there on Thursday morning early. And Spike, most people wouldn't know who Spike is, but he's a real animal when it comes to getting this stuff in and out. He was at my customer's place at 5 a.m. yesterday, and I met him, helped a little bit rig out, and then he actually drove back home and got a couple hours of sleep and was back at the customer at 2:30 in the morning, and they were unloading the new machine, putting it into place, and he was back here.
So did he go up and prep the machine was coming out?
Yep, he just went up with his pickup truck and tools, and we prepped everything, got it on skids, and it was nice because their guys helped tremendously, just getting everything banded up for us.
It was nice of them to do that.
Oh, yeah, it was great, and they were super helpful. And then he turned around and came back, and machines were already loaded on Wednesday night, so he bolted right in, and we lucked out because the electrician and the maintenance man were still there at 2:30 in the morning, still working on the electrical for the new machine. And he said, "Well, the rains are coming. Let's get it in, get it in going." So it was a surprise because I think, what was he here? He was here like 10 o'clock maybe.
Yeah, right around that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
a wild man.
Yes.
And that's going into the Bronx in New York. So
yeah,
that was a good one. So yeah, the service team will be in there on Monday and getting everything hooked up, and they'll have
running in a couple of days.
Dual shellings, side by side running, which is pretty cool. So
How long's Spike been rigging and trucking for us? Does anyone know that?
Well, it wasn't long after we started here. It was your dad. He worked for your dad, Dean. Right?
Yeah.
Nope.
So what year? That would have been right around the same time you
He
started.
helped you guys move out of Chambersburg, didn't he?
No,
he didn't.
That was Ryan. I think that was Ryan.
I don't know.
Yeah, it would have been Ryan.
With your dad, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spike, I think, was started here in 2012, I think, with hauling stuff for us.
When he was on his own. You mean?
Yeah.
When did he start with your dad?
I don't know the year.
Because he did some work with Les together, hauled our stuff and did some rigging. I was on a job with the two of them, your dad and Spike, moving I forget what, it was a couple machines out of a place in West Virginia. That was an interesting time. They left us use their forklift. The brakes didn't work, and your dad and Spike got into a little bit of a spat about it. I finally said, "I'll see you guys. It's probably not a good place for me to be."
So, Dustin, did you find a home for that today then?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, we had a spot that was empty for it, so I try and plan for it. Usually Ron or Mike or them let me know when a machine's about to come in.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah.
Always real good about that here on here, but we try.
Or he'll come up, Ron will come up to me and he'll go, Dustin, I did something wrong. Uh-oh, what'd you do? I bought another big machine.
He has a habit of doing that
He does.
for sure.
He does.
Of
But
course, the worst one was the other Harlan, the second Harlan.
oh, yeah.
Came in
Yep.
5 truckloads, right?
Yeah.
Find a spot, Dustin. Find a spot.
Yep, we did too. We did it in about a day. We found a spot for it. So
Nice.
it worked out.
Yeah, you would never think we'd have 80,000 square foot filled up.
Looking for more.
Second story.
No, I'm looking to move it quicker.
Start buying
Yeah.
stuff at Stacks.
Yeah. No doubt about that.
Dustin even came up with an idea for a little portable mezzanine so we could stack some stuff up. It's very heavy duty.
Yeah, it'll hold right around 18,000 pounds that we can set over top of machinery and put all of, like, if it's a grinder, we can put its vibrating tables up on top, fasten them, so that way it's not taking up so much real estate on the floor.
Yeah, it keeps everything together as well.
Yeah.
We have some pallet racking out there, but not much we can put in a pallet rack of what we sell.
Yeah, most everything's heavy
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that it definitely is.
Yeah, that was a nice project there. We're starting that on the Miller Blake. That's was kind of a nice deal.
Well, it was
Quick.
With the shelling, bought it.
Sold it on
one
a
week,
Friday and
sold
we're
it.
putting it in on the next. So that was a quick one for us.
Yeah,
Should be nice. That was that nice late model. I think they're going to really enjoy that machine. That's
right.
400 hours on it. You don't find them like that.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
No.
I had a couple people ask about it afterwards. I'm like, nah, you're too late.
It's at a good home.
Yeah, it is. It is good. And they're a fairly new customer for us, right?
Yeah. They're was finally able to get in the door there, and it was funny. I met with the Tony, the shop foreman that handles all this different stuff, and he gave me a tour a few weeks back. And when the owner called me about the machine, and I said, "Oh yeah, I was just there a couple weeks ago. Well, I didn't see you." I said, "Well, Tony showed me around. And I kind of have a lay of the land of where your new machine's going to go." So it worked out really well. But yeah, it's a tight area there in the Bronx for sure.
Yeah, everything's tight over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was yesterday afternoon after meeting up with Spike. Then I was in a little block area of a few shops, and it must have been the Crackhead Central. I mean, it was horrible. There was people just staggering down the road, incoherent, just trash everywhere. It was just unbelievable how much was going on like that, and
Yeah.
it's just sad. Really,
Is that
is.
out of New York City?
Yeah,
Was that
right in the
Jersey?
Bronx. Yeah, it was a difficult one. You don't see that too much, and
Didn't
people-
want to either, I'm sure.
no, absolutely not.
Rather not. It's
But
crazy.
yeah, that's what a lot of these people are having to deal with. I was Miller Blaker, the FedEx guy 2 weeks ago was held up. Guy took his packages coming into the building.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, and where they're at doesn't seem like really bad area. It's just the luck of the draw. Somebody cruises over from one block to the other, and it does that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, us country boys out here in the middle of nowhere, corn growing up behind our building. We don't see. Well, we do have a little bit of that across the road there, but
well, the good
not
thing
like
was
that.
Yeah.
as us country boys, we prepare for those type of things, so they don't know what they're.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't know what they're going to get for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't pay attention to those kind of outlaw rules for the city. It's nuts.
That's right.
Different atmosphere.
Ryan, what did you have going on this week?
Not too much. We were down at a customer site looking at a Optimizer's scan chop line. So we were. Ron was down there with us. Bryson flew in. I think Bryson was there pretty much all week.
Yeah, Bryson flew in on Monday, and
Go over
was-
drawings,
he might have came in
re-edit.
Sunday, but yeah, he was there for a couple days before us. We went down Wednesday,
Wednesday, yep.
and they were pretty much done. They had settled on the project, the plan, the floor plan. We had worked on it for a while before this. I think this has been going for about a year.
It's every bit
Which
of the year.
which big projects like this do.
Yep.
And good customer of ours, and he decided to move forward with the project and give us a deposit check when we walked out.
Nice.
So that worked out really well. And while we were there, he lent us a part that we needed for another customer, another one
Yep.
of Ryan's customers, TBM down in Hanover. Had a part go out on one of their machines, and he just happened to have it. So we scored some points there.
Oh, fantastic. That really makes us look good.
He even bought me wings at the local restaurant. So I picked up his part, and that was good.
2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that worked out nice for everybody, and it was nice of our customer to help us out. It was nice
Yeah.
of him.
And it's good to have them relationships.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, it keeps that inner circle going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What did we have? We had the AWFS fair.
Yeah,
in
Dustin
Vegas.
loaded the planer up, I guess, Friday for that.
Yep.
And it's there. It's in Las Vegas. I got a report last night from Brianna. Said
It's
that she sent me. He's I forget. He was in the next town out or something. So
What model was that?
it's a 2071, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
2071, 30-inch wide Oliver Stratoplane. And that's what we're showing at the show. And then we'll just have our used equipment displays of the computers.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Kiosks that you had built for us, I believe.
Yeah, you had actually built that for us.
Oh, that went out?
Yeah, that's out there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a spectacular piece that we built.
Yeah. Excellent. Lots of compliments. on that. Beautiful. So that's what we'll do at the show. We'll show our planer, and then we'll have our used equipment that we can bring up on the screen and talk to people about. That's what most people look for us out at that show, will be for used equipment.
Yeah. Do we have that one sold already?
No, that's the one. Well, actually, our guest last week, we're trying. Keith has looked at it, but we actually quoted him another Newman planer this week as well. So he hasn't decided what he wants to do. But no, that's not sold. That's available. It's fully reconditioned, ready to go. Lots of new parts on it.
It looks beautiful.
It's
for
a
sure.
very good looking
Yeah, it does.
machine.
Yeah.
Able to be shipped right after the show.
Yeah, and I think you can see it on our website. I think they put your video of you loading it. It's all over the place. So we're looking to sell it.
I'm sure we're going to get some pictures of it in the booth too at some point.
Oh yeah. Once it's in the booth, we'll get some photographs. We'll post those as well. So Erik and Cody are on their way out. I leave on Sunday to go out. A couple of the service team guys are going to be there.
So we should be displayed pretty well out there.
Yeah.
I have a few customers going out, so told them to look us up. We're at the 1763 booth.
Right.
So look for the big RT sign and come
Yep.
check us out.
Yep. If anybody gets this, we'll probably post this Wednesday. If they hear us and they want to come by, we'll be there. I
Fantastic.
think it's Tuesday through Friday. I think is the show.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Or
At least that's when they're having their speakers.
I think it also goes on Friday.
Do they have the exhibit hall open Friday yet?
Yeah, Erik will be there Friday, but Cody and I are coming back. So usually the last day of any show is pretty
Yeah.
slow. So normally.
Well, and this is the off-year show for between Atlanta and
Yeah, Atlanta's every 2 years, and in between is AWFS. Yeah.
what else did they have going on out there at
So they have a few speakers out there. Ran through the list, looking for a few that sound pretty interesting. They have a guy out there talking about employees, your greatest assets. What are you doing to attract them, to keep them? Running through some different ideas, having open discussions. I know it's a huge topic right now, just in the machinery side with looking at automation and different things. So it would be very interested to hear what he has to say on how to keep good employees.
Yeah, which in today's world, it's
It's a big topic. It's a hard thing to do in a lot of companies, especially in woodworking. It's not a fun job a lot of times.
A lot of noise in some of those plants.
Yeah, well, some of the operations are monotonous, picking up sticks, moving them,
Yeah.
the bigger mills.
which a lot of that could really be automated. Some of that.
Yeah, it's the problem is the cost and
Yeah, return on the investment is always the
yeah.
big kicker.
Some of these guys are going to have to do it because they can't find people to do it. And we're working. Marine Johnson, one of our companies is getting into the automation. They've hired robotics integrators, design those kind of projects. So we're looking forward to working with them and trying to solve some of these problems.
Yeah, which I think is going to be a big item for the future here to really,
Absolutely.
trying to look at all
We
of
keep
the-
saying it year in and year out. We keep saying it's going to happen, and so I think it's going to happen by necessity now because people don't want to work.
Well, and I don't think a lot of shops understand, how a lot of it actually works and how, I don't want to say easy it is, but it's gotten much more easy to bring that stuff in there.
Yeah, and I've had some customers even say they're going to lower their expectations on payback time. Instead of 2 years, you might have to look at 3, 4, maybe 5 because
Yeah, when you look at the long-term investment, it really is.
Yep.
The programming's gotten a lot easier. A lot of this stuff is just intuitive, where you can roll it in on a pallet jack and manually run it through its pace,
Right.
with the controls, and then you just save that, and then it goes about its job.
I think when they can get it so that robot could be programmed to work at this machine today and maybe be able to transport it easily over to that machine tomorrow, you'll see a lot more of them popping up.
Yep.
It's
The custom side of things is that's where we run into trouble. It's okay if we're running 5,000 doors that are all the same size and have a robot load this machine for all day, every single day, doing the same thing. It's practical. But when you have 5 doors, you're putting in a sander, and then they need drilled, and your hinges inserted, and you're not doing high volume is where it gets pretty tough.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we have a lot of customers like that. Small shops,
Yes.
mid-sized shops.
Custom cabinetry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to fit that custom market is very difficult for sure.
Most of them are all struggling for employees. So where do you turn? How do you automate? How do you get your time per door lower?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they can invent a robot that can clean dirt and rust off a machine, Dustin, we'll be buying one right away, won't we?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, we definitely have got some more stuff moved around that we're looking like we have our showroom back almost.
We're getting there. Dustin's working on trying to get the floor fixed and getting some budget numbers together so we can get the showroom set back up. We got a 100 CR100 router on its way. It's on order. Well, it's not on its way yet, but it's on order. I think that'll be here maybe October, November-ish. I don't
That's
remember.
probably.
Yeah.
And then we have a stanza that's supposed to be showing up end of the week, next week.
Is that right?
Yep.
Man,
That's pretty exciting.
we got some Frolmac machines out here that have been here for a while. We need to get a better home for those to display them.
Yeah.
Then some of our reconditioned machines, be nice to put them in a showroom area. So we and Dustin can talk about this a little bit. We had a showroom and we switched it to a shop, and now we got to build a new show or remodel a room for a showroom.
Yeah, it's going to take us a little bit, but we'll get there with it. Our biggest thing right now is to get the floor done before we move those machines in there. So
Yep.
we did have them painted, and it did not turn out the greatest. And so we're trying to figure out a better way to do this to make the floors look better and last longer.
Yeah, so heavy forklifts with machinery on there just doesn't work out too good.
No.
The epoxy floors just chip. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Is that right?
Yeah, when you got a 30,000-pound forklift running across them, and
Tires turning.
yeah,
Yeah, or your steel dollies.
steel dolly. Yeah,
Oh, those
Yep.
wreak havoc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're trying to figure that out, and then we moved the receiving back to the old shop so we'd have a better flow. We preach to our customers all the time that they need a good flow of their material in and out, and we didn't have one. So
Yeah.
Dustin's working on that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that September we can actually get the old shop, our new receiving area, ready to start receiving machinery only, and then move it straight out through the other end of the building. So you'll go from receiving to you'll be able to test, clean, then we can go out for photos. If there's a machine that's sold right away, then it can come right into the shop, and then once it's sold or once it's done, then it'll go out to receiving at the other end of our building.
Shipping.
Yeah, for shipping in. And then all I have to do is just wait for the truck to get here and put it on the truck, and to the customer it goes.
Yeah, it's not quite a straight line, but a little bit of a hook in there to get to the new shop, but it's close. It's a lot better than it was.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. You go from one end of the building all the way to the other, and then you're backtracking.
Yeah.
And then back to the
Yeah,
first
well,
end.
There was a lot. There was a lot of back and forth before, so we need to get that fixed, and we're close.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully, like I said, by September we should be able to go with that plan. So most of our plans usually work, but every now and then we get a monkey and there's a wrench that goes in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times, I mean, we're selling machines so many different ways that you don't know what's going to happen with that machine. But when it comes in, when it gets off the truck, it can sit down into the testing area, have a visual inspection, whether we want to put power to it right away or not. And then either from there, it could go to the shop or it could go to the warehouse.
Right.
But at least this way, we're not bringing it in one door, taking it the whole way to the other end of the building to be tested or inspected, and then back out to the warehouse.
Or sometimes back to the other end to get photographed, and then
Oh,
back
yeah.
to the shop to get tested or worked on. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth in here before.
Well, there was probably 3 or 4 trips through a 100-yard warehouse.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time when it's a 30,000-pound machine.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of times that, the one single machine, we were touching it like 5 times
Just the moving it.
just to moving it. From
Right.
the time that we unload it, bring it in, and then until it goes back out, it's 5 times, maybe 6 times.
A lot of these machines just aren't a pick up and move. It's a rigging. I mean, we're
Right.
rigging every single machine we move in our building.
Right.
It's not a pallet. It's not a box.
Yeah. A lot of these machines don't have a flat base onto them, so like winding molders, they are like the worst machine to try and move around.
Oh.
So when it comes in, what we usually try to do is have a skid built, and so that way when I take it off the truck, I can set it right on the skid, fasten it, and then we can go through the warehouse with it.
It can be very dangerous as well. Some of these machines are very top heavy. If you're not picking them correctly, it could very well come off the forklift, slide off one end or the other,
Yep.
hit other machines.
Yeah, it's happened a few times around here even, but luckily not too many times.
No. 17 years probably, I think 5 or 6 times we've had a machine that's, had damage to it. So
Then you're not counting the intentional ones, right? The ones you took out back.
no, no, that's a little more.
Sometimes we're done with a machine. Dustin has fun with it before he puts it in the scrapyard.
Yep.
That's when we used to strip them for parts. And
Gets a few extra flips out in the parking lot.
Yep. Test its durability.
Bertha goes up pretty high, and then she tilts forward, right?
That's right. Yep. Machinery basketball.
How is the boneyard looking out back right now? The stuff that's got to go to the scrapyard.
Well, we gotten rid of a couple flatbeds and a couple of the containers or pans, they usually call them. We've done 2 full pans and I think 2 or 3 flatbeds.
Oh,
of
good. So
our
we made a
scrap.
dent.
We're getting cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah.
It would look a lot better if we could get rid of some of that pallet racking back there. That's
Yeah.
still hanging around.
We got
Anybody needs pallet racking,
Yeah.
we get a good deal.
Yeah, call us.
real good.
That was one of my worst ideas.
I think that was the first one.
Is that your first buy?
I think so.
Oh, nice.
3 years.
You only hear about that weekly. I didn't get one of those yet.
It's
Although
not
maybe
like,
this panel saw just came, it would be one of them.
it's not like he forced me to buy it, but I thought it would sound like a good deal at the time.
I
But
mean, it sounded great.
yeah, a lot of pallet racking for not a lot of money, but when you can't get rid of it, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it does take up a lot of room. And we've actually used some of it here in our warehouse too, for smaller projects.
Yeah, I think the service team keep grabbing pieces every now and then.
Yep.
I see them popping up in here. It's not strong enough for most of our stuff, but
No, that's for sure. Most of our small stuff, it's got to have duration of, like 5,000 to 6,000 pounds in order for some of our smaller stuff to be on there. And that's what our racking is out in the warehouse right now. Each shelf is rated for right around 6,000 pounds. So you'll see that there's 2 machines on each shelf, or, you know, there'll be smaller stuff on there, but it doesn't ever exceed that 6,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yep, want it to be safe, and you have that stuff tied to the building so it can't fall over.
Yep, it is bolted and welded fast.
Yeah. Yep. Try to keep it all safe.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that, especially when we're up there with a forklift. I mean, we had one where we had a whirlwind up on top, and the forklift caught the rail, and it popped the rail up out. So we ended up, you know, having to rig that whirlwind saw down out and then fixing it, and then that's when we bolted and welded everything together.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it was a little hairy, but
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, as long as nobody got hurt, that's all.
nope.
Machinery can all be replaced. I just don't want anybody getting hurt around here.
Yeah. And we're pretty fast at moving stuff too. I mean, the average machine, you know, 5-10 minutes, we can move it. You know, a molder, if it's on a skid, you know, it takes us a couple minutes to move it. But if it's not, then it takes us usually about a half hour, 40 minutes to move it. Panel saws, you know, they take a little more because they have so many parts for them. So they take us, you know, usually half hour to an hour to move them.
And you have all the proper equipment, straps and cables and dollies and pretty much everything you need. So
Lifting bars,
yep,
everything that we need to move that stuff safely.
good.
Nice.
That's the double antennas. I mean, you go to get a picture of them, you're half a day to set the machine kind of into place. You don't have to level everything for a picture, but you still have to set it on the rails.
To make it look like a double antenna.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
We
work.
have a video on our Facebook page, a time lapse of me and Dusty moving a piece back to the old shop.
Yeah, that, what was that one?
That's that.
Rollback, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The one's in there now.
that's one still sitting in the corner back
small
there.
Yeah, the small one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually up. I think it's on the Facebook or
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Miranda likes doing those videos of you moving stuff around and speeding them up.
Yeah, they turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, they do. They look good.
You see that time lapse, like, oh, that's not hard at all. What?
Yeah.
that's not just 30 seconds. That's
Yeah,
Yeah, and sped up.
Yeah, come try to do it.
yeah,
You got to have somebody who's moved a few pieces of machinery to appreciate them.
Yeah.
yeah. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Looks like we have quite a few of our partners out at the Vegas this year too. We have, what's Andrews bringing out?
They told me, but I can't remember exactly what's going to be in the booth. I know they got a couple machines in there. Some of their guys are coming out. Rain Johnson's going to be there.
Fromac was there.
No,
they weren't.
Romac is not coming. A lot of the bigger companies aren't coming anymore. The Biesi's are out. I think Biesi's out. Styles is out.
Yeah.
SCM pulled out, but then
It's a weird
four of their
situation.
dealers took the booth and put some machines in or something. So I don't think Weinig's there either, are they?
I was looking at the list. I didn't see them on the list.
So I'm not sure what their thinking is, but hopefully they're wrong and we're right. And people will show up, be looking for some machinery.
Yep.
Yeah, Stanza's out there.
Yep.
We have some nice stuff coming in for them. Working on a linear spray line myself for a customer at the moment. And Pillar.
Yeah, you got a couple of projects going with them too.
Yeah, I have actually a custom drilling machine, quite costly machine actually that for an application. So that one should be nice if that comes through. It's a pretty neat deal. Actually, 2 machines to one company just
Yeah.
with that. But actually, yeah, that was a big one. Actually, we had shelling going in there and Onsrud, big double head unit. And,
It'd be nice.
yeah, that
That
was
Shelling will be at the show as well, too.
time saver. We have a time
Yeah,
saver.
Time Saver. Yeah. It's one of our partners. Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few of our partners are out here for us. So it should be an interesting show and see what kind of attendance is going to come up.
Yeah, we'll see how many of our local customers go. I know of one, Appalachian's going. So we're going to meet up with them out there. So, but most of our efforts are to get business for the Oliver stuff or for used equipment.
Yeah.
Altendorf will be out.
Yeah, Tony called me yesterday, told me to come over to the booth.
Yeah, I've quite a bit of their new. I don't know if they're bringing one of the new K36s or not with them, the Banders, the Hebrock line at Altendorf.
I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll have a handguard out there.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, that actually
That
just
thing.
did you see that they just won? Actually, that is the fastest reacting.
Oh yeah, I seen
Yeah.
something in Germany
'Cause
they
it's
were
using it-
promoting it again.
Yeah, it was on
They won.
like the WoodNet flyer.
Woodworking Network.
Yeah, that's I watched it. It's actually pretty amazing because though it's using photos and stuff, and it's actually you can't even come close to.
I got to play with one at the Wood Pro in Lancaster last year. That
Yeah.
was unreal.
Yeah, it's amazing setup for that.
Yeah, you did a good job with that, with telling people about it. And put your hand right over there and I'll pop right down.
Once you're a believer, it ain't hard to talk about it.
That video's on our Instagram as well.
Of Ryan
Yeah,
showing it?
doing that presentation or whatever it was.
Yeah, okay.
We'll do Wood Pro again this year.
What's that in October? right?
October, it's either 13th, 14th. I think it's 13, 14.
Local right here in Lancaster.
Lancaster Spooky Nut Complex. I don't know if we'll have a handguard again this year, but we'll have some interesting new machines there.
Yeah, Towel Press,
Possibly.
possibly working on that. And
Stanza will definitely be there. Cabinet door sander. That is, I think that's starting to make some waves in the industry. It's an affordable cabinet door sander.
yeah,
And
yeah, I
it's-
did a bunch of testing for a customer and took all different milled products they were running. MDF, most everything was MDF painted. A little bit of hardwood with it, but no, it worked really well.
No. I mean, they've had the technology out for years, but everyone else has been doing it in a 3-shift operation where we were starting out at 150 grand. And it's like
Yeah.
your medium small cabinet shops can't afford or can't even justify it. Where Stanza had filled that spot to be able to break all of your edges, get down in the cracks.
You've sold a couple of those already.
We got a couple of them. We have the one coming in next week. And a guy's looking at doing a completely different application on the machine than what it was intended for. So we're going to run some test parts for him. And it's a wire wheel, denibbing situation, and then possibly a cross belt on that as well. So, I mean, the head configurations alone and the ease of swapping back and forth is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a great addition, really. I see one of our newest vendors has got a nice display out there as well as CA Technologies, and we have an upcoming episode coming up that we'll have Brendan, our local rep from CA Technologies, and Bob Schaefer from Pheasant Hall. We're going to go over the different applications that we handle for the spraying equipment, pumps and whatnot.
Spraying glue,
And finishes. So
finishes. Yep.
it should be two guys that have a wealth of knowledge in the industry. I think Bob's got 35 years anyway in the glue and industry on that side, and Brendan, I think he's 30 couple as well. So
Yeah. You get two passionate guys and both very smart on the subjects that they're.
So stay tuned for that one. I think we're going to be somewhere in the end of August for that one.
Okay, we haven't set a date yet.
Yeah, but they both agreed and should be entertaining as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Of course, we got the Green Street guys coming in on the 11th. Rob and Jeff, so that should be an entertaining one as well.
Should be.
They gave us another plug this morning, by the way. They had.
Have they listened to our previous podcast?
Yeah,
Any
yeah, they liked
feedback?
it.
What-
So yeah,
feedback
so,
was good.
Yeah, we said we're developing ours, and I copy off of Jeff and Rob.
Yeah, right. Well, they definitely started us. for
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We thank them very much for that and the
Yeah.
business that they're sending our way as well.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
cool.
Yeah, we've already, in my territory, I've gotten quite a few leads from just on their podcast. So
That's
it's
pretty cool.
I walked into places and guys were like, "Hey, yeah, we know you.
I recognize your voice.
You're the Hot Rods and Edge Bander guy." So
I never
that's
pictured you look like that.
yeah. Oh, I see what they're talking about. No, a lot of good people from that. They had John Jamal on. He's an upholsterer in Jersey City, and I got another hour to finish on that one yet.
I didn't listen to that one yet. I listened
Yeah.
to their designer, the girl.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Yeah.
Yes, John's really wealth of knowledge, and their family came over and in 1963 and pretty much set up an upholstery shop like right away. And he's got a great background on how their family came up through and the niche business they do. They do a lot of stuff on these stage sets and things, and just monster companies. I had no idea. What kind of stuff they're doing. So that's a good one if you catch
Yeah, I will. I always listen to theirs.
the American Craftsman, Green Street Joinery. So they've had some really nice guests on.
Yeah.
Of course, Ron and I were,
The best.
one of the best guys.
No,
on. So-
not one of them.
No, it's been definitely entertaining and
Oh, yeah.
learning a lot. That's what's great about the podcast. You get different guests and everything on, and really learn the in and outs of everybody's business, and some of the knowledge is. It was great with Keith last week. There were so many things that touching on in the wood species industry. That
Yeah, he was great.
yeah, definitely a wealth of knowledge there.
I've reached out to some other local customers, but I'm looking forward to some, guys come in from all over the country to look at machinery and see if they'll sit down and talk with us. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, we need some guys from the South. Get a good accent going.
There you go.
So any of you guys down in Tennessee or what have you, that side of things.
I'd like to get some of the old time dealers in here and tell some old war stories would be interesting, but I don't know if I could ever get any of them to come up. There's not many of them left, but
That would be great, wouldn't it?
yeah.
That would be
I remember going on sales calls with my dad just at a young age, and going into a lot of these guys' shops, and just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The stories they had back then. I might have only been 10 years old, I think.
I'll tell you, I was a youngster in this business, and I worked with Larry Leapcott at Carpenters, and he took me around to all the auctions and sitting around listening to the dealers, and most of them are gone, but unfortunately. But some of the stories, they just would go on and on and on. It's crazy.
We need to get Keith in here. Get
Yeah.
Keith and Carson on, and
Yeah.
Ian from
I'm sure they would do
IRS.
it. I'm sure they would
Yeah.
do it sometime. Yeah,
Yeah, their story, their grandfather was pretty amazing.
absolutely. Yeah.
The amount of machinery when the wars were going on, he was just stockpiling stuff, and then when everybody came back in, it was just
Yeah,
He
I guess Boyce Crane, I think, was the company, and they called him up and they said, "We have all these purchase orders for hundreds of machines. Surely you don't want these." And he's like, "Yeah, I do,"
yeah.
because he was top of the list, and nobody else could get any, so they had to buy them from him.
Wow.
Smart man.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have to reach out to Carson and Keith and get them on. That would be a great episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's looks like Entico, dust collectors, Slingmeister, I think is how you pronounce that.
At the show,
It will be at the show.
good partner of ours, Antico.
They're doing some pretty cool dust collection systems on their outside units.
Yeah, you know what, Ryan? Could you expand on that a little bit of what they're doing different than others in the industry?
Yep, so they're using, I guess you could call it a modular unit almost, where they're putting multiple motors in one unit, which is getting you about 13,000 CFM. So it's three or four 25 horsepower motors in one unit. If you are running, just say, a 10-person shop, you have an outside collector, and you're only running 5 machines that day, you may only need 5,000 CFM, or maybe it's 2,000. One of them motors will only kick on, or maybe you only need 2 motors on out of 4, where These other central units are running one big 75 horse, 100 horse, up to, 300 horse on some of these big units. You're starting it up at the beginning of the day, and it's running all day, every single day. I was talking with a customer last week about them, and they had their bearing on their main motor went down. Well, when they couldn't find parts, you couldn't get bearings. They couldn't find the bearing anywhere to get back up and going. So they were down, almost 2 weeks.
Wow, that can hurt.
That's killer.
Where if a motor goes out on one of them, you're down 5,000 CFM. You still have all the rest of your motors, and it's a lot easier to keep a 25 horsepower motor on the shelf.
Yeah, absolutely.
To have a spare.
Right.
So that's some of their stuff. And then down the road, if you want to add more CFMs, it's a matter of just bolting another unit onto the side of it.
And they have small indoor units. We have one here.
They're doing small indoor
the
units. And they last year they released a new felt bag. If you're doing a lot of sanding in your shop, a lot of times the sanding dust bleeds through the old felt bags, the standard felt bag, and then you're still getting all this fine dust back into your shop. Where they put a membrane coating on the inside of the bag, and the dust is actually falling off of the inside of it instead of trying to come through.
Oh, I did not realize they put that on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an actual coating then.
Yep.
That's an optional bag. Different.
It's an optional bag. I think it's like $25 a bag, and I think it's coming out to like $300 per indoor unit on average.
That's actually very reasonable to
really.
pick up.
If you're doing
the air
any
quality.
sanding, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That they're getting 10 to 15 years out of their bag lives. It's unreal.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You don't see that much.
No. But they're supporting their bags from the top and the bottom. They're using a vibratory cleaning device instead of air pulse, which blows holes in your bags. And they're doing a lot of different things, top level.
Yeah, the modular section's what really makes, I think what Keith just was talking about. They had they had one go down, and the stuff was all tied together, and they couldn't run.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
And I think that was a rip saw and their molder.
Yeah, they thought they were separate. They thought the molders were separated on two different systems, so they wouldn't go down. They thought the rip saws were on two different systems, and found out that they weren't set up correctly, and they were down.
Yep.
Yeah, in that case. So we got to work on him. Got to get Cody back over there.
Yeah, right.
Get him on that project.
Exactly.
Excellent. So we got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, and I thought we'd just give everybody an update of what we were doing this week and what we're doing next week with AWFS, and I think that probably wraps it up for this show. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Anything in closing that?
You're looking at me.
You want me to close?
So if you're out at the Vegas show, come see us.
Yeah. What's that booth
booth
number again?
1763.
Going by.
Yeah, come and see us. We'll
show you our inventory on the computer and talk about your needs.
yeah, everything's right there in that wonderful kiosk that we have going on.
That's right.
So
We'll set
can
up.
pull everything right up. But yeah, the sounds good.
If you need any advice on moving machines, call Dustin. I'm sure he can help you out.
Yeah, we can get that done.
Yeah, I've actually had a couple people call and ask.
Nice.
I've been able to talk them through on how to unload it, how to move it around. So it makes it nice and easy for them.
Fantastic. I didn't. Yeah, that was.
I didn't realize you did that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Anything to help our customers.
That's it.
That's right.
All about the service.
that's right.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.